By the end of this video, you're going to have a step-by-step guide to upgrading your Capital One credit card without a hard credit check. Whether you want better rewards like free travel or cash back, then upgrading your credit card is a perfect strategy. Quickly starting off with why upgrading your card is simply better than just applying for a new one, and then we'll get into the how to request your upgrade. Which brings us to reason number one is that upgrading your card doesn't actually hurt your credit score because there is no hard inquiry. On the other hand, you're going to maintain your average age of accounts, which doesn't affect your credit score. Because requesting an upgrade with Capital One is what's considered a product change and you're not actually getting a new account number, you're keeping the same account, you're just getting a new card with better benefits and hopefully a higher credit limit by the end of this video. And lastly, like many banks, Capital One limits you to 5 personal credit cards, otherwise you'll be instantly denied. So upgrading your card versus applying for a new one will solve that problem. Friendly reminder to not skip around too much in the video, because towards the end I'm going to share with you 2 important ratios, and if you mess them up, not only could there be a hard inquiry, but you could ultimately ruin your credit card chances of being upgraded. And before we go over exactly how to request the upgrade with no hard inquiry, I did want to first tell you which cards you should be upgrading to, so you're not stuck with a card with less benefits. For example, Capital One offers all these credit cards, whether it be no annual fee, personal, business, rewards, and much more. Simple rule of thumb is to stick with the cards with no or a low annual fee, but still give you a lot of rewards, like this Venture One credit card, earning you 1.25 miles per dollar spent with no annual fee, also giving you this attractive 0% APR for 15 months. In the same way, one of the best credit cards they offer is the Saver One credit card, earning you cash back, 3% on dining, entertainment, streaming services, and at grocery stores for no annual fee. Very, very, very important that I do mention upgrading your credit card most of the time. You're not going to qualify for the new card sign-up bonus or the new card promotions. In some cases, you will be targeted for specific promotional offers to upgrade, but when we get to that stage, you'll specifically see that information. But more on that later. And you're probably wondering, well, Nick, that's great, but which one should I avoid? Personally, I would avoid any of these store credit cards that have a partnership with Capital One to put their label on it. For example, these Bass Pro Shop cards or these Cabela Club credit cards. In the same way, I would stay away from the BJ's credit cards. Again, any store credit card that has a very high interest rate of damn near 30% with practically no rewards. Even worse, these credit cards most of the time can only be used at the store themselves, again making them a limiting factor and not a good credit card to have. Real quick, one last category I would completely avoid, and then we'll get into how to actually upgrade to one of these amazing credit cards. I would stay away from any of the credit cards that say secured. So I would stay away from these two, which basically make you put up a cash deposit to ultimately get assigned a credit limit. It's not necessary, especially after I show you this strategy to upgrade your credit card. Which brings us to our 4-step framework to requesting the upgrade without a hard inquiry. Starting with step 1, which is logging into your Capital One portal. Choose the card that you currently have and you want to upgrade from. I have these two, which is the Venture X and the Venture One. So if I wanted to upgrade my Venture One, I would click this card because this is where we're going to start the process. Shout out to Capital One, I just got a free $45. Step 2 is you want to locate this chat feature and type in update your income and employment, please. After that, again, you're going to select the account you want to upgrade from. Going to bring up a box that looks like this, and you want to simply update your income. Important to note that Capital One allows you to use your alimony, child support, separate maintenance income, or any other income that's available to you, maybe from a spouse or a family member, if times get tough and you need to ultimately rely on it. But more importantly is this box. If you're employed, great, you want to just simply put your occupation. But for my self-employed people, instead of putting self-employed, I still recommend putting your employed. Instead, just put the name of your company as your occupation. And you're probably wondering, well, Nick, why would I do this? Well, for obvious reasons, Capital One likes to see some more continuity in your employment and income, And sometimes putting your self-employed can trigger some sort of review, which we want to completely avoid. So after all that's updated, simply click submit and then go back to the chat feature. Friendly reminder that after we do this, don't click around too much. We're going to talk about those two important ratios. If you mess them up, you're probably not going to get the upgrade. Which brings us to typing in product upgrade or a product change, please. At this point, you're probably going to see your options here, but if you don't, I just tried for this video. Simply don't panic, I'm going to show you a way around this. So Capital One has a secret link most people don't know about. I'm going to put it right here, more importantly in the comments below, and you could simply click that. Going to bring you back to this screen where you simply log in again. After you log back in, it's going to bring up this screen. Again, you're going to select the account you want to upgrade from. And there you have it. I was targeted for an upgrade. It says my current card is the Venture One, and I have an upgrade offer to the Quicksilver if I choose to do that. Basically, in my scenario, I could trade my travel miles at 1.25 miles per dollar for a card that gives me 1.5% cash back. Not a terrible offer. Now, in some cases, Capital One will ask you for your rent and mortgage and your annual credit card spend. Simply put, for your mortgage, I would recommend 30% or less of your monthly take-home income so you don't trigger any sort of red flag. Never to lie, but based on my experience and the data points I have from all of my clients, this is reasonable and is what I recommend. In the same way, for your credit card spend monthly, I would recommend 10% or less. Again, be on the safe side. And lastly, if you're currently paying rent or you live with a family member, don't think that putting $0 is going to help you out. At the end of the day, Capital One does want to see some sort of spend, because ultimately that's how they make money on interest. Even if you're paying your credit card in full every month, that is how they analyze these scenarios. I hope this helped. I really hope you have a new credit card coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. Consider watching this video right here. YouTube thinks is best for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.